Let's go. Bet. Yo, once again, I'm back around.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over how I made this marketing video for an up-and-coming company located here in South Florida. This video was originally going to just be BTS on location, but something happened with the audio and it's kind of not good. So I figured I would kind of give you a walkthrough of how we did it and a little insight into the editing of it. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, turn those notifications on. We have new videos every single week. Before we get into the BTS of this video, let's roll the final clip so you guys can kind of see what we came up with.
Hello, I'm Johnny Meyer, owner of My Community Pharmacy, Palm Beach Sterile, and Medcare RX. During this COVID pandemic, we were inundated with requests for different PPE products. That's why I started Pharma Health. At Pharma Health, we understand the top priority is keeping your students safe, your staff safe, and the general public. That's why we're offering these products to you today. Go check out our website at www.mypharmahealth.com. And remember, keeping it clean is keeping it safe.
There you have it. That's the final video. I kind of cut off like the logo at the end and stuff, but you get the grasp of it. First off, I don't know what's going on with Premiere, but like I click play and it takes like a solid 5 seconds for the video to start playing, which is super annoying. So we're gonna have to figure that out. This entire video was shot on the Canon EOS R with the Ninja 5 external recorder, so that I was able to shoot ProRes 422. Everything was shot in 1080 60 frames with the exception of the interview with the CEO. We shot that in 4K 23.976. Shout out to Randy for shooting the BTS. Sito was my assistant on this project / art department. We really had to kind of tidy up the area where we were going to shoot the CEO in because it was an actual working person's desk. And then we had to set up all the props on the counter for the company. This is a PPE company called My Pharma Health, and they're going to be providing schools with the proper PPE equipment so that kids can go back to school safely. So they got the mask, the sanitizer, thermometer checkers, all that kind of stuff. We did the CEO's shoot first at their main office location, cleared off this lady's desk, cleaned everything up. We like moved over a bookcase. There were some boxes that like may or may not have been in the shot, so we had to get all of those out of the way. It's really important when you're trying to shoot, especially like an interview talk and then an interview talk with products, you don't want a bunch of distracting stuff. So you want to focus your attention on the person who's talking and the products.
Thought you was gonna blow your nose for a second.
No, it was not.
So you want to make sure everything is clean, everything is clear, and that's where the focus is drawn into. It was pretty bright in there. We just used natural lighting with another 2 simple light setup. We just gave him a little bit more of a pop. Once we actually had the CEO there to record his portion of talking, it only took us maybe 10 minutes with him, yet it took us like an hour and a half to get this space ready to shoot in. The biggest thing is product positioning. We had to prop some stuff up on top of like tape. We used the gaffing tape and like stacked it on top of the gaffing tape and then hid the gaffing tape. And then we had to stick other gaffing tape to make it like pivot up. You want to make sure the product looks good, angled right. You don't want to have something like off angled and like, that was a really sharp arm there, but you know, so you just want the product to look good. We finally got something that we were happy with and we were ready to bring in the CEO for his talking portion. I had a shotgun mic just as a secondary backup audio recording. The main audio, the audio that was used, was a Tascam DR10L lav mic, which is also an external mic recorder. I love this mic. The audio is super crisp, super clean. It's very portable and compact. I've used it for weddings, I've used it for interviews, I've used it a bunch of stuff. When you're recording an interview, you want to try to always have at least 2 forms of audio because you need a backup. If something were to happen to the Tascam mic where I didn't know because I was behind the camera recording and something happened on that end when it was attached to the talent, I would still have the shotgun mic as a backup. The last thing you want to do is get home, review the footage, call up the client and be like, oh, we got to reshoot because none of the audio recorded. You don't want that to happen. Don't let it happen. Have 2 forms of audio when you're recording something important. So that was the only part that we did at the office. The CEO knew what he was doing. He already had rehearsed what he was gonna say. He was well versed in front of the camera, so he got in. I think he ran through the take maybe like 3 times and we got it. So that was great. Usually doesn't always happen that way, but when it does, it's nice. That is a wrap on location 1. Hair down real quick and then head over to location number 2 where we got more of a shoot vibe going on. Let's go. Alright guys, so we just got to location number 2. First scene we're going to be doing outside. While you're here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn those notifications on. New videos every single week. This is where the bulk of the fun happened. I believe this was this was my first time working with like so many kids as talent. Usually I tend to work more with adults, products, a kid or 2, but we were dealing with like a classroom here. So that was interesting. Our first shot at the school was the kids getting dropped off in the line, and although it was only really focusing on the first 2 girls that came out of the car, you still want that like atmosphere of cars pulling up and getting dropped off as if it was really at school. You know what I'm saying? You want to sell the idea.
I'm waiting for you. We're handling a car line right now, so I gotta be the traffic, like a traffic cop.
This took a little coordination. We had to run it through a couple times before we actually got the shot. Another thing we really struggled with was the light was really harsh out where the car was, whereas it was way darker where we were. But the focus is on the sanitizer, so it wasn't too bad and the shots are quick. I had originally had a shot in mind where I wanted to add the camera on the dash pointing backwards in the car and have the mom hook on the portable sanitizer to the kids before they get out, just to create a cooler dynamic shot. But we ended up ditching that and doing the hand sanitizer inside the classroom, as you guys saw. So to get kind of a switch of angles is where I set up that through the car shot. Car pulled in right into position. We did have to run this through a couple times to get the stop like right where it was since I was on sticks. The little girl is like right in the shot, which is awesome. Alright, so once we finished with the outside shots, we moved inside. I like to continue the story, so we had the 6 feet apart line as the kids went into their classroom and sat down. The hardest part about this was making sure that they kept distance because, you know, obviously if you're shooting a marketing video or a commercial for, you know, COVID and safety, everything is 6 feet apart. We tried our best to maintain that distance. All the kids were so excited when we first got there. I was hearing them in the back. One kid was saying like, oh, we're gonna be in a photo shoot, and the other one's like, no, we're gonna be actors. I think we were at the school shoot for like, I wanna say like 3.5 hours, which is pretty much what I estimated. Usually my estimations are always under, so I'm pretty happy that we got it done in the right amount of time. You know, because you think I would learn my lesson by now and just add additional time, but I never do, and I always go more hours than I'm supposed to in editing, videoing, everything. About like 3/4 of the way through, the kids started getting, what's the word? Like antsy. They were hungry, they were thirsty, they were done. They were done being actors. They wanted to be done with this video already. But we still needed more shots, so we had to keep telling them, you know, you're almost done, you're almost done. Once we got the mom to come and pick up the 2 kids from the initial car ride, that was kind of them walking out of the school together. Everybody's happy, and it goes to the end message. And then that was pretty much a wrap on the shoot. This wall sanitizer actually wasn't full, and it wasn't working right, and it kept falling off the wall because it's supposed to be like screwed into the wall, but we weren't putting it in that, like, that's not where it was gonna go for this school, so we couldn't like drill into the school's wall. It wasn't working, so I had to add this light and the sound effects to make it seem like it was a working, functioning hand sanitizer. So yeah, that's pretty much the BTS behind the shoot. If you're still here, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn the notifications on. Let's do a quick dive into the editing for the video. My name is Bianca, so I think he might be done. We're at like 1:35, and that's because they wanted some slides at the end of the video, like showcasing the products better. Now you might see all these adjustment layers, and that is because Premiere was doing some weird color shifting thing. I originally sent it out to get colored. However, Premiere wasn't reading the file right, so I had to add an adjustment layer and add a lumetri color legal to full range, like LUT on top of it. Not LUT, it's like an effect. It changes the way that the color is read. This was a really tight deadline project. The coloring that I was getting from the grader that was done in DaVinci was coming in like super contrasty. I really didn't have time to do a bunch of trial and error, so I ended up just coloring the project myself. I used the Loop Deck Plus, helped a lot. That's what I ended up doing, which is kind of like whatever, because you know, you pay somebody to color something and then you can't even, you're not even able to use it. I heard this saying once, I don't know who said it. If you can sell the ear, you can sell the eye. Sound design is so important. Like, people really underestimate sound design, and it's so important. It brings everything together. So we had the main loop track here, and then we had the audio from the CEO. Something new that I just found out too, if you go to the audio tab, I used to like add effects, multi-band compressor, and clean up all the audio myself. Check this out. If you go to edit here and you do there's balanced female voice and balanced male voice. It makes it sound so good. That's my new go-to for vocals. I added a car door slam. I also always add a little constant power to fade in and fade out the effect. And I also do surround reverb. Sometimes not, but most of the time, yes, on Somewhere Not Here. Add the bird chirps, you know, that kind of stuff. I added them walking on concrete, so like little concrete footsteps. So another thing in color grading the process, you want to add subtile vignettes. If you're in color, yes, there's a vignette here at the bottom, but for the most part, it's kind of focusing on the center of the shot. So if you have something specific that you want to pull the eye towards, what I did is I just create a black video, and then I mask like a circle around whatever I want to focus the eye on, and then I just drop the opacity. So the opacity here is at 20%. And if you're looking at the shot, something else I heard somebody else say, I don't know, I watched so many YouTube videos, I don't know where they're from. Somebody said like you want it to be so subtle that you don't notice it when it's on, but when you turn it on and off, that's when you like see what a difference it makes in drawing your eye. So like right here, it doesn't really look like super vignette-y, but if I turn it off and on, you can see how your eye just kind of goes to that thermometer a little bit more and focuses on that, which is good. That's what you want, especially with products. These shots in the classroom were shot on the Ronin. I had an L bracket HDMI cord, so there was two issues here. One, I brought the wrong mount, so it didn't twist into the Ronin like bar attachment that I have. Two, when I hit record on the camera, it wasn't triggering the recording on the external recorder. So that's why you have here Cethel holding the monitor because it wouldn't be mounted, and then we were both hitting record at almost the same time, so that way I would still have the double recording. However, I have since figured out the trigger and everything is good. The cable works great. I just need to use it now. On the shot of the CEO, I did a couple different things, as well as I used cinema grade colored look that I like all the way at the end, just to try to kind of make everything a little bit more cohesive. A LUT that I liked at 50% here, and then so it's only 50% here, and then it's 25% overall. So it's like just a little something to kind of mesh everything together a little bit better. And then in the actual video, 3 different things. So I did a base correction. My white balance was already pretty good. I just brought my exposure up and my highlights, shadows, whites, and stuff like that. And then from there, I wanted as you can see here, the items on the table are kind of blown out. So I kind of wanted to just bring those back a little bit, and I just kind of darkened it with a mask. The final look was getting his skin tone to pop, which as you can see, that one is doing the biggest difference. Skin off, skin on, skin off, skin on. Hue versus saturation pop made his skin pop a little bit. I adjusted his hue a little bit because he was a little on the green side, and my Premiere was also exporting a little bit on the green side, so I had to hue him a little bit more to the pink side, so that way when it exported and the shift went a little bit green, it would be more normal. And then I gave him a little pop in the Luma as well. This is where I made the selection of his skin. So you can see there, his skin selection. I bumped up the denoise and the blur, left all this. I basically just added a little contrast to him, dropped the sharpness a little bit, bumped the saturation, and then the final thing was he was in the center, so I didn't have to do a black video for the vignette. I was able to just use the vignette that is in Premiere. Subtly draws your eye to him. So this is with it off. When you turn on that vignette, boom, you get that to kind of bring it all together. That is how we did this marketing video for My Pharma Health. Thank you so much to the company for letting me do this behind the scenes. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions about the setups we used, drop a comment down below. I'll try my best to answer it. If you guys have any questions about a set you're doing, I don't know, just let me know. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn the notifications on. We're putting out new videos every single week. If you guys like this kind of behind the scenes content of the shoots that we go on, let me know. I'll keep bringing it to you during the week. All right, so that's gonna be it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one. Later.
Oh, see, now they got the microphone working. What does BTS stand for?
Behind the scenes or behind the shield?
Oh, I thought it was behind the shield. Let me put mine on.
Hey, one.
That's right, be safe. Put on the mask.
All right. I think we're good to go. I can't see the shot, but I hope it's okay. My glasses are dirty-ish. How do I see out of these things?